let's start looking at the transfer news, people. I will, like I said, we'll circle back. Don't feel left out. I will go all the way back out. But yeah, man, I told you, lot, 200 likes. You've held your end of the bargain. Let me hold mine in it. So where should we start? I think let's start. You know, let's start from back to front for a change, man. Let's start from back to front for a change. Well, I mean, if you're into the Milinkovic-Savic stuff, you know, he's been linked with Arsenal and more specifically United. Apparently, Lazio are preparing to offer him a new deal, people. And again, while they haven't, I've still got hope for him and Fabian Ruiz. Nothing, no logical hope, just small hope in it. As long as Fabian Ruiz has not signed for PSG, these, you know, Milinkovic-Savic, Fabian Ruiz, Carlos Soler, they would be players I'd be looking at, but it's a myth, really, in my opinion. But yeah, that one there is done. Europa League draw is on Friday. We will probably be watching that together, folks, so keep an eye out on that. No clue what relevance that has. We'll look at that later. Reece Nelson, apparently there's an exit on the cards for Reece Nelson, people. Now, he's currently injured. There's rumours he could be sent back out on loan. If the 22-year-old is sent back out on loan, give him a new deal to protect the resale value. He's contracted until 2023. It doesn't make any sense, really. You know, all this talk about Winger for his potential, we should be talking about how he's in the mix. I do think Nelson has potential to be a Premier League player, but it looks like you've got to move away from Arsenal for your career to get somewhere in that regards, people. Apparently, Nelson could be out of action until October, could be set to leave on loan in any case. We're talking about an injury that was a training ground problem, but my understanding is that it could be after the international break before we see him back in contention. He's not a player we expect to push on and threaten a start unless there are a few injuries in the Arsenal squad. He may be a player that Mikel Arteta could still utilize as part of the European campaign when he rests and rotates the squad, or there could be potentially another loan move on the cards. But we are at least another month away from a return, which would indicate a grade 2 tier. With the international break coming around mid-September, it could be that sensible decision is to hold back until around October, and then he can kick on from there, really. So that's Reece Nelson. Apparently, Wolves closed door on Pedro Neto deal as Arsenal forced to explore two other options. Wolves have closed the door on Pedro Neto leaving this summer. According to reports, Arsenal have made the Portugal international their top target, but a deal is now thought to be extremely unlikely. We spent around 120 million already, and it could get better in that regards. Apparently, you know, a deal has almost zero chance of happening. They want to keep the 22-year-old. And as you know, Pedro Neto's club are in a very strong position as they have him contracted until 2027. If we don't get Pedro Neto, that's great, despite the fact that he's an Arsenal fan, that, you know, we've got links with Mendes, a couple clients at Arsenal, the fact that Mendes wants him to leave and all of those sort of things, that's cool. Moussa Diaby has or is in talks to sign a new deal at Leverkusen with a World Cup in place. I don't know if it makes sense for him to move. The MVP, you know, it seems like Villarreal, Emre come out and said, you know, they'll let my man go in it. So that could be something to explore as well, really, and surely should be the easiest one. I don't care for we tried. If you wanted Tielemans all window, that's great. Make sure you get random Joe Blogs. If you want whoever on the wings, make sure you get something. You know, we tried is a hype. We need to actually have things happening now at the carpet, if I'm completely honest with you. 233 likes. Can we get to 300 people? Thank you in advance. So, yeah, man, Neto, like Diaby, is considered untouchable at Leverkusen. There are also yet to be any negotiations with Villarreal over a deal for Youri Pino, people. So we'll have to see. Obviously, Arteta said we don't like reacting. Obviously, we want to get players that we believe will make a big impact in the team. If we can do that, we'll try to do that. If we cannot, we will stay with the players we have. No, the results doesn't change the plans, but we know as well where we are short, where we have to add more firepower. And if we can do it, we will do it. Firepower. Now, I'm playing devil's advocate. You have to accept words at face value, but the words are very important. If you were signing a defender, you know, if you were signing a defender, would you refer to it as firepower, or is firepower a term reserved for wingers and strikers and guys that are going to score and assist? I don't know if you know, again, the manager, I'm getting 2 and 2 and getting $1 million, but I'm not saying Neto is going to sign, but he said firepower. And Arteta says things in smart little ways, like we can't rely on the same 2-3 players to score. Even the other day, he's like, hey, this is doing great, but it can't just be him. So maybe that is an area. And the amount of wingers that we've been linked with, Noah Lang, Pepe, Gakpo, Pedro Neto, Rafinha, Sane, Gnabry, some obviously more likely than others, some unrealistic, but Zaha, we've been linked with a lot of wingers, Pino there as well, so there's got to be something of varying levels. Clearly, some of the names I said are more ready to impact Arsenal and the starting 11 selections right now. Some are more development prospects and things like that. The Mudryk guy as well from Ukraine, as my man Hero just said, and he looks decent. Some players evidently are a bit more raw than the others, but there has to have been something. And there's probably some guys we don't know. I don't know if Marquinhos and Nelson, if worse comes to worse, are given opportunities. I don't know if Pepe will be allowed to leave if we ain't getting someone in. And to be honest, it looks like, there must have been some optimism, because when we was linked with Rafinha, there was no talk around Pepe busting out. It looked like we was committed to try and getting that done, which we was obviously the man's third choice behind Chelsea and Barca. Now the logic is, Pepe has to reach an agreement with Nice, and then we could do this thing. But surely you're not, whether you rate Pepe or not, just in terms of the body, if something happens, you're going to be a bit light there. I don't know. I'm just reasoning with you lot. So that's the first thing in relation to Pedro Neto. Arsenal to move for Lucas Paqueta on one condition, with Mikel Arteta keen on signings. Lucas Paqueta is said to be on Arsenal's list of midfield targets to pursue in the advance of next week's transfer deadline. Scrolling all the way down, Arteta will sanction a move for Lyon midfielder Lucas Paqueta if they fail to land Youri Tielemans from Leicester City between now and next week's transfer deadline, according to reports. We've been here, man. We've been here. Edu's never shied away from the fact that he likes him. 1 minute he doesn't want to sign for Arsenal, then he does. We've been here before, really and truly. The Lyon man is tied down until 2025. 1 minute he's available for 34 million, then he's available for 60 odd. I don't know. It's said that the North Londoners will only act on their interest for his signature if it becomes clear that Tielemans will be staying at Leicester. It said Tielemans is still Arsenal's top priority in midfield, with the Belgian playmaker set to become a free agent at the end of the campaign, people. As you know, Arsenal are believed to be planning to wait another year before securing his services without having to pay a transfer fee. A lot can change for a year, but if that's the case, bring Paqueta now, then, innit? If a move for Tielemans proves to be a step too far for Arsenal, they could reportedly decide to make a formal approach for Paqueta in advance of next week's all-important deadline. As you know, 6 assists and 9 goals for Lyon last campaign helped him quite a lot. Arsenal are not the only side in for Paqueta. Newcastle and Spurs have been monitoring him, people. And the president of Lyon has sat there and said, there are proposals for him. There are certain players who can feel complete in the project and others who don't. Economically, we have the means to pursue our ideas and objectives. The coach gave us his opinion, and there's also what the players want to do. So we'll have to see how that one develops. Again, I can't understand this, so we're going to have to do up Google Translate. Or not. You're going to... No Google Translate? All right, well, I think I'm just going to have to take it old school, people, and copy and paste this into Google Translate. This is the article we're looking at, but I don't know why Google Chrome isn't giving me the option. I can't understand Portuguese, but, let's just take it old school, and I'll just keep that up there for aesthetics. Despite the Gunners' interest, the game knows that the door to the extreme exit is closed. Placed in Arsenal's orbit, the possibility of Pedro Neto heading to the Gunners is almost nil, according to what Ojogo has found. Wolverhampton closed the door on the departure of the Portuguese international, who recently signed a new deal until 2027. The intention of the leaders of the team, led by Bruno Lage, is to keep the winger for at least one more season. I mean, good players people don't want to sell, based on rejecting 60 million for Anthony Gordon. Everton don't want to sell. Really good people don't want to sell good players. Real Madrid did not want to sell Casemiro. United, rightly or wrongly, gave my man an offer he couldn't refuse. Leicester do not want to sell Fofana. They're trying to give them offers that can't be refused. This article goes on to say, in an interview with the Times, Pedro Neto refused to make great comments about the situation, but he did not hide his pleasure at the interests of the Londoners. A player always likes to hear that kind of thing, but I'm focused on my work at Wolverhampton, and I feel very good. It's good for me and my mentality to know that people recognize my value. And obviously, this is his 4th season at Wolves. He went on to say, which Arsenal are not in, the Champions League is every player's dream. So make of that what you will, people. So, yeah, I don't know what to believe in that regard, but that's that article. Elliot, he's a vice chairman of One Football, apparently got to think that Gibbs White inflated prices linked to this possible Neto deal. JM George Mendes is the best at getting his clients the moves they want, and his fees plus his personal links to Wolves are well known, and his growing links at Arsenal. Really, you said you can't prosper with agent links. Neto reveals Champions League ambition amid Arsenal speculation. People, the dream for any player is to play in the Champions League. I want to help this club Wolves to go higher and higher because I think we have the potential with the way we work, the way we sign players, the way we try to arrive there. And obviously the signings that they brought in, they want to marry that with it as well. That Portuguese outlet is tier 1, by the way. All I care about is, by all means, go for Neto. Just make sure you're going for a next guy, because if you're not going to put down the P's, Wolves aren't going to let it happen. Big up G1 in the cut. Nice to see you back now that United have won. We were very close last year, but it's missing something, and that's something we have to work between us. I don't know if I could score 5 or 15. I don't know. The season before last, I did good work and helped the team a lot. We were one of the teams that created most chances in the league, and as a striker, I always like to have opportunities. So we'll have to see. Bruno Lager said, I heard about that, but nothing has come to us. It's normal to have this interest, but no one told me nothing about any proposals, so I cannot confirm nothing. Arsenal are focused on Nicolas Pepe's departure. And again, it's just Mendes talking on behalf of Wolves and Arsenal. So obviously they know about it, but there hasn't been any official offers. A bit like when Brendan Rodgers has said there's been no offers for Tielemans. Arsenal haven't bidded. So it's the truth, but it's not the truth. We've been linked with Zaha. I don't know how credible Dean Jones is. Obviously, Arsenal targeting Crystal Palace forward Wilf Zaha could be something to watch out for, according to transfer insider Dean Jones. People, according to Goal, the Gunners are we know the Gunners are interested in Youri Pino. I don't think that's quite the news we was potentially looking for, but great stuff. 262 unexpected high bills for anyone who ain't hit that like button. We know we tried to sign Zaha in 2019. Apparently, he has said, if I can see it, pop-ups are putting me off. He's looking in hot form, and if an offer doesn't land in the next week from someone, then I'll be surprised. He's not the main man Arsenal are thinking about at this stage, as far as I know. Youri Pino is more appealing, but this one could become interesting. Apart from the obvious reasons why we might be interested in Zaha, it doesn't say anything there. He's not said any insider stuff or anything, so bit of an overseller. Sandro Tonali has never been an option for Arsenal or any other English club this summer. He's untouchable, and he's going to sign a new contract with Milan in the next few weeks. He will sign until 2027 following Tomori's contract extension. So, yeah, never trust when we're linked with midfielders out of Italy, innit, folks? Allegedly, I don't know what to believe, but apparently Daniel Cut said Arsenal's issues around Youri Tielemans' deal are Leicester's asking price, more than 50 million with just a year left. Not sure I believe that. Yeah, he could be reliable, but I can only go off what I've seen, did it really? I can only go off what I've seen. I don't know him from nowhere. I don't know how reliable you are. I don't know your phone book. We just talk about these transfers. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, as I always say. If nobody's holding shirts, I don't know. I don't know these brothers from nowhere, really and truly. Everyone's got their own opinions. And based on what he said it could be one to watch. We've sat here and spoke about potential talking points as to why Zaha could be appealing, as to why Gnabry or Sane could be appealing. Sane won apparently Bayern Munich are saying he needs to make progress this year. But what sort of traffic, You've not said anything about the relationship with Arsenal and Zaha's agent. You've not even mentioned the fact that he's a fan. So reliability for me is very subjective. But this done said, Tielemans' wage demands are huge compared to what Arsenal are willing to pay, and apparently they're looking at 50 million. Ben Jacobs has apparently counteracted that and said broad personal terms have been agreed. If Arsenal bid, he'll sign. Also, my understanding is Leicester want just over 30 million or early in the window 35 all in, which is basically what they paid for him. Arsenal value him at just under 25 million in January, I believe 23 million, and not a lot has changed in that regards. Get on to them, G1. 271 likes. Appreciative if you've done that. Over 400 folks tuned in. Very appreciative of all of you lot tuned in. But come on, man. Let's do that. Let's get that one over the line, people. You got it in you lot. I believe in every one of you lot, mate. You're blocked for being a pussy, but anywho, let's see what else he's had to say about it. If he found us a bit irrelevant to us. Obviously, stop doing all the mad transfer man stuff, man. Just talk about what we need to see. Obviously, we know Aubameyang could be going wherever Where else, man? I don't think he said anything more on Tielemans, to be fair with you. Should we try one more time? So I don't think he's got nothing new on Tielemans, and I don't think personally I don't really want to hear about Tielemans until we've signed someone. As an aside, Arsenal better hurry if they want Youri Tielemans. Wouldn't remotely surprise me if Liverpool change their stance and consider a late window bid. Tielemans still wants Arsenal, and a move remains very possible. Leicester brace for offers. I mean, if you know, it is what it is. Once again, Southampton also want Ainsley Maitland-Niles in addition to West Ham, Fulham, and Bournemouth. Hopefully, that can be done really and truly. You know, just don't matter, don't care where you go, just cut somewhere. Wolves have joined the race to sign Kudus. They're set to make an offer. Obviously, he can play up front as well as on the flanks. Pedro Neto the same. So is that a replacement? I don't know. Arsenal want to sell Maitland-Niles, but could also be open to a loan with the option of a permanent deal. Is there another clause in his contract? He's been told he's not part of Arteta's plans, and the club are keen to offload him, rightly so. I mean, unless you're going to renew his deal for a year to protect value, what's the point loaning out players with a year left on their deals? Talkshite has said that Southampton, Bournemouth, and West Ham have been offered the chance to sign him. I don't want to click on this website, but you know, let's just in the grand scheme of things, just to see where this is. Oh, it's the same old. So yeah, we ain't learned nothing new in that regards. I mean, Southampton's not far from London. That could be a good one for you, really. Nice are progressing on the deal to sign Pepe. Mudryk, one to watch towards the end of the window. Arsenal watched him closely, but nothing beyond initial inquiries. Other Premier League teams are interested as well. Pardon me. Bayern Leverkusen try to sign him as well. Boy, Arsenal played 9 matches in October, 6 in the Premier League, 3 in Europa. Let's see what's going on there. So we'll have to see what's going on. As we said, Wolves have closed the door on Pedro Neto departing. I hear that. So yeah, it seems like not much there. Bellerin to Betis. According to this publication, only hours Bellerin and Jean Mata have settled everything with Betis. Now Betis must release part of the wage bill to release them with the team. So I think that means they've got to deal with some potential outgoings. Let's see what Mr. Connor Harrison is saying as well. Apparently, Ainsley is guaranteed to leave. I think it means this window. I hear that. West Ham have been in contact with the agents of Ainsley Maitland-Niles to step up the deal, and it could be done for around £6 million. Apparently, Bournemouth have tried to get him. The player would rather stay in London, but hasn't ruled out a move. So that that could be Fulham or West Ham given the driving seat. Once again, Arsenal have been informed via middlemen that this offer won't even be considered. Let's see what the response is. Declined before even submitted. Player and agent willing to push to drive price down. I mean, you got to take a leaf out for Farner's book. That is a follow-up tweet to what he said yesterday. Arsenal preparing bid for Youri Tielemans. Couple outgoings to be confirmed in the coming days. Then official offer will be sent. Believed to be around 17.5 guaranteed with some add-ons. In relation to Pedro Neto, Arsenal love Pedro Neto. However, it isn't going to be cheap. Player would love the move. Don't expect Arsenal to get in for anything less than 45 million. Wolves would accept payment instructions. Won't be a fast deal, but everyone is moving in the right direction. Arsenal have no issue surrounding personal terms with the Wolves Portuguese winger. Offer around 120k per week. However, Wolves want a guaranteed 50 million. Mendes wants his client to make the move to North London and is working hard to broker a deal between the clubs. Apparently, it is all dependent on Pepe leaving, also worth noting, as he has said there. So we'll have to see, man. Still no change for those asking regarding Youri. Player wants move. Arsenal in no rush. They'll 100% move from this window. They're just trying to drive the price down. Boy. So we have to see what's going on. Again, I don't know if these lot are gospel and these sort of things. 284 likes, over 500 people here. Subscribe if you are new and like the video. Doesn't cost a penny to show support over here. Appreciate that. Big up Zaha as well. Like South London's finest has said, smash the likes, people. Can we get 300 and subscribe? Road to 50k and follow Twitch links in the description. Big up you lot, especially you lot that are here day in, day out. Don't think this is relevant to us. Bellerin once again is being linked with Barcelona. They tried to buy Foyth, it didn't bang. Don't know where Bellerin goes, don't really care. Like a lot of you, just hope he sorts it out. Salah has joined Championship side Hull City on a season-long loan. They do have an option of a buy, so he's more or less their player. Arsenal are not affected by the FFP as of now. Apparently, Dean Jones has also said Arsenal, not the only two names they're looking at in Neto and Pino. In the background, there is Will Zaha. Zaha is definitely one of those players that ticks the boxes and that Arsenal have their eye on. We'll have to wait and see if they go down that path. Zaha is obviously in red hot form at the moment. All right, cool. Doesn't appear like anything's happening in that regards or that regards. Once again, PSG consider Carlos Soler from Valencia. So this is what we need to be getting, either Soler or Fabian Ruiz or something like that, really. But other than that, I can't see it happening. So yeah, man, it's a bit of a shit news day, really, if I'm completely honest. It's a bit of a poor news day. Then again, maybe there's something new here for us here. I don't know, man. We'd have to draw what conclusions we draw. I don't know. Let's see what's here. Arsenal Serie A winner. Who? Sandro Tonali, come on now. Apparently, Musa Diaby is loved at Arsenal. We'd love to have him as well. Diaby is a player they love at Arsenal. It says for Romano. Ainsley's being linked with moves away again. So it's all tired, really. What else is going on in the world of Arsenal? Barca have told Bellerin to wait. Let's change it to the last hour. Once again, Bruno Laga's played down rumors allegedly, and they're going to do that in it until they get what they believe he's worth. So we're gonna have to see what's going on there. We got Salaradini set to face Coventry. So yeah, apart from that, it seems like that is it really and truly. Don't seem like there's any other credible rumors. Let me circle back and see what you lot were saying in the comments, because we did have to air you lot for a sec, but we're back again. So I think that's that. If we get Zaha, we're winning the league. They're offering Soler out for free. We had to reject that. Real Madrid, man said Real Madrid, this guy. Zaha is the best. Not about that. Anthony Gordon to Chelsea is brazy. Wanted Aronson this summer, would have fit the profile. Went for cheap, pressing, left-footed, young, hungry, can rotate on the right or the 10. Very underrated people now. People are talking about. I hear that, bro. My man, I will gift you $100. Keep your money, man.